Hi guys, Miss Acton here for reading with you again today, and it is a Wednesday. How cute is this corgi puppy? Corgis are Miss Acton's favorite. She's got one in her house. Oh my gosh, I love him so much. All right, so what are our objectives today? What are you going to be doing? We together are going to be producing a connection between two steps, and connection is going to be the big word we're going to be talking about. Then you on your own are going to produce a connection between two steps in the How to Draw a Dog writing piece that you were reading that you've been doing the past 2 days. You're going to do today. Then later on, you're going to be practicing drawing your puppy dog again, and hopefully you'll get a lot better today. We go back to our Jamboard. All right, so I wanted to laugh real quick, remind you about Miss Acton's first attempt at drawing the puppy dog and how my second time was a lot better. Miss Acton's getting better just like you are, and how these steps are each important because that's what we're going to be talking about today, and how steps in these types of pieces are really important, and how if one's missing, it might not be pretty good. So we know that these are sequence text structures because we see those transition words, like first, then, next, and finally, last. But we also know that sequence text structures can also have 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like our piece right here does. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a lot of times this is how you find recipes. Recipes often have 1, 2, 3, and you follow those steps. So connection. We have to know what a connection is in order to be able to produce a connection or make a connection about two steps in a story. So think of a connection as a chain, and each of those links are connected. Each one of those links we're going to pretend is like a step. So for example, if we were talking about how to draw a dog, the first step would be drawing that sideways oval. This would be the second step where you draw the triangle nose and a U on top. This would be the step where we draw the ears on the side that curve in at the bottom. This step would be where we draw the eyes and the eyebrows, and this step would be where we draw the J's to make the mouth part, and then you would be done. So those would be all the steps, and they are all connected. And the reason why we say that they're connected is because if you're missing one spot, like let's say right here, you forget to make that U up at the top and the little triangle. Then when you get to here where you're drawing the mouth part, you won't know where to draw the mouth part because you never drew a nose, and your puppy dog is going to look scary because your puppy dog won't have a nose. That's going to be really scary. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about on the next slide. But you also need to remember that sometimes our links in our chain can be broken, and that's what I'm talking about whenever I say that the story that it's telling you might give you a story that is unbroken, and that's when you're going to have steps that are missing. So your puppy dog might look really not so good. Your recipe might turn out disgusting, and I'm going to talk about that in the next few slides. All right, so the next slide that Miss Acton's going to show you is the new recipe that we're going to be doing today. Miss Acton's actually going to make this tomorrow, so come back tomorrow so you can see Miss Acton try to make this. We're going to see this a little bit further on the next few slides. We're talking about the steps. I just wanted to show you that we're going to have a new recipe that we're going to see today, and it looks delicious and it's healthy. So here's what I'm talking about. There's a step that's missing, guys. You guys know there's supposed to be a step right here with a picture along with it. But let's pretend that the link in one of our chains does happen to break. So let's pretend that this link right here decides to snap into, and our how-to piece is broken, and we cannot figure out how to fix it. Let's say that I just follow and I do step 1, step 2, and step 3. I do the first, then, and finally. This is what my puppy dog would end up like. That does not look like a dog. It looks like it's trying to be an animal, but most animals that look like this have ears, and this does not. It looks scary, guys. And that's because our chain is broken. There is not a connection between these steps. And if there was a connection, I would have a complete puppy dog that looks like this one down here, or even this one right here. So if we add that step back into it, oh, I need to have ears. And then you could go over to your puppy dog and you could add those nice, beautiful ears. Oh my gosh, it looks so much better. He's not scary anymore. He looks so much better. So this is what I'm trying to tell you it's very important whenever you write a piece like this, when you teach somebody how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, if you skip even one step, it's not going to turn out okay. It's the person that's reading it and following the steps is going to be really sad at the end because they're going to end up with a really ugly puppy dog, or maybe a recipe that missed something. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that in the next step. So let's pretend like we're going with the connection between these two spots right here. Here, we peel all the bananas, cut the bananas into bite-sized pieces. Let's say that I decide to skip step number 1. You're like, it's the first step and it's only 4 words. Peel the bananas. Boo-hoo. Who cares if you missed it? I'm going to show why you care if you miss it. So then I cut up my banana pieces with the peel still on it. Then the next step says to place them in the freezer. Okay, not so bad. So I've got bananas that are freezing. They've just got the peel on them. Then it says place the frozen bananas in a blender. Okay, whiz the bananas in the blender until it is ice cream smooth. So I'm going to show you what that kind of would look like. So here's bananas in a blender that do not have the peel. We're going to imagine that the peel is still on these things. Then we're going to whiz it in the blender, get it all mixed up. This is what it's supposed to look like, but I'm going to let you use your imagination and just take a wild guess on what is going to be floating in this beautiful, creamy, delicious ice cream that we made from bananas. There's going to be chunks of banana peel in this whole stinking thing, guys. Whole stinking thing. So you've whizzed it, but you are going to have chunks of nasty. I don't know if you've ever tasted banana peel. It's not good. It has no flavor to it, and it's kind of like, ugh, it tastes kind of like medicine. It's just not good. So your ice cream's not going to taste good either. So you've whizzed the bananas in the blender, you pour it into a bowl, you mix chocolate chips in there, and then you eat it. But I promise you, yummy is not going to be the word that you're thinking of. You're going to be thinking of a yucky treat. If somebody brought me this ice cream and I started eating it and I hear a crunch from that peel, I'm going to be like, yeah, you can have this back. I'm not going to eat it anymore. So the reason why Miss Acton is showing you this is because if you skip even the very first and you're like, it's really not that big of a deal. Let's just skip it. It's too hard to sit there and peel banana. Let's just chop it, put it in the freezer, put it in the blender, blend it up, add the chocolate chips and eat it. It's going to ruin every single step after this. So what this proves is that even though it's the first step, it is connected all the way to step number 8. Because that where it says eat your treat, eat your yummy treat, it will not be yummy anymore. It's going to be kind of crunchy from the banana peel. It's not going to taste good. Blech, it's not going to be yucky. So even that first step is going to be connected to that 8th step. So now let's talk about how these steps might be connected. I'm going to do the 2 that I did in the square. So if we peel all the bananas and then we cut the banana pieces in 2, what's the connection between those 2? So I'm going to say that the connection between the 2 is going to be if you don't have the bananas peeled, then you're going to have chunks in your bananas that are not going to taste good. Does that make sense? So I'm going to say the connection. Hello? The connection is if you do not take the peel off, then the ice cream will taste yucky. It'll just taste yucky. That's going to be what our is. You're not going to have yummy ice cream. Nobody's going to want, you want me to make my yummy ice cream out of bananas? No, thank you. You put banana peels in it last time. So just follow what Ms. Acton's talk about when we talk about how some of these pieces are connected with each other. And think about that when you're doing this piece, because you're going to answer some questions about how there's connections between all the steps and how to draw a puppy dog. And if one of those steps was missing, what would happen? All right, so have fun with this, guys. And don't forget to come back and see Miss Acton tomorrow because she's going to make that recipe. And it's something super easy that you can make at home with an adult in your house that you can try too. So please come back and see Miss Acton tomorrow. Bye, guys.